Students, today we will be starting a new session on software concepts. Software concept is a chapter continuation to the previous session. In the previous session, we had a discussion on the various types of software, the different categories, the operating system software, many other things. So today we will be continuing our topic, the same topic, software concepts, part 2. Good morning students, myself Nasia Nadim. Today I will be presenting you the session on software concepts part 2. So let us have a discussion. As informed earlier, this is the chapter number 4 and name of the chapter is software concepts. And previous session we had discussed part 1 and this session we will be discussing the continuation to that. So let me introduce you this chapter in terms of weightage. So as informed earlier, the weightage of this chapter is 5 marks. So you need to study one question for 2 mark and one question for 3 mark for your annual first PUC examination. So in this chapter you will get total 2 questions and the weightage will be 5 marks. Let us check out the different things what we will be studying and what we have already studied in this chapter. So let us have a recap of the previous topics or previous sessions topics what we had discussed. So in the previous session we had discussed about software. Software is a set of programs stored in computer's memory. Then we had a discussion on the types of softwares. There are 3 types of softwares: application software, system software and utilities. Application softwares are the programs used by the user, that is we, depending upon our requirement. These are the softwares which are readily available. For example, Word, Excel, PowerPoint and Photoshop, Tally, many others. Similarly, we have system software. System software is a set of programs which are used by the computer system itself. Why does a computer require programs? So a computer requires program for its proper functioning, efficient functioning. Then we had a discussion on utilities. Utilities are the softwares which will help us to maintain and manage computer resources and they help us to make a computer run smoothly. So operating system is one of the example of system software. So in the previous session we had discussed what is operating system. Operating system is a set of programs. It is a system software. Operating system, it provides an interface between a user and the computer. Operating system helps a user to communicate with the system. And also it acts as a manager of the resources. In the previous session we had discussed as to what are the different jobs that are done by the operating system. So the operating system functions include processor management, memory management, file management, input output devices management. So this is about the session, previous session. Today we will be continuing the same chapter, software concepts, and today's topic is types of operating systems. Today we will be discussing which are the different types of operating systems available and what is the difference between one with the another. So let us check out the different types of operating system So here we have a list of the different operating systems available. So first we have single user operating system, then we have batch user operating system, then we have multi-programming operating system, which includes multitasking operating system, multi-user operating system, time sharing operating system and real-time systems. Along with that we have distributed operating systems, network operating systems and multi-threaded models or multi-threaded operating system. Let us check each one in detail. Let us start with single user operating system. So as you see in the picture, you can see a user is using one computer. A single user is using a computer. So what is single user operating system? A single user operating system allows a single user to access any particular computer at any time, at one time. In one time only one user can use the computer. There are many examples. One of them are DOS, Windows, Linux. So we should not get confused with multiple users. Person X and person Y and person Z. There can be 3 users who are using the computer. X, Y, Z can use the computer but one at a time. There can be multiple users but it allows only one user to use the computer at any given point of time. So if person X is using the computer, person Y and Z cannot use. If person Y is using the computer, person X and Z are not allowed. So similarly, if person Z is using, X and Y are not allowed. This type of operating system is called single user operating system. So next comes batch operating system. Batch is a group of jobs which a computer has to execute or run. So in a batch system what happens? Jobs which are done by the computer, they are grouped together and they are called as batches. A batch can have n number of jobs. Batches are submitted to the computer system and the job available in the batches are executed one by one. In this type of system, there is less interaction between the user and the computer. The jobs which has to be performed, they are given in the batches to the computer and computer starts executing the batches one by one. So this is about the batch operating system. Let us continue the next topic, that is multi-programming operating system. So you can see there can be many programs. So you can see program A, B, C and you can see one by one they are executed by the CPU processor. So the programs are taken from the secondary storage device and they are queued and one by one they are executed. Or there can be multiple programs running concurrently in the memory. There can be multiple programs running in the memory and the CPU time is utilized between all of them. So multi-programming, multi means more than one. So multi means more than one. So you can see in the figure there are many programs, program A, B, C, they are in the memory and CPU is executing all the programs concurrently. So this is multi-programming operating system. Next comes multitasking. Task means jobs. Multi means more than one. Multitasking OS means a operating system which allows more than one jobs to be executed at the same time, and the CPU time is distributed among the jobs simultaneously. So when multiple jobs are executed by CPU simultaneously, the switching among the programs occurs. The switching among the programs is so fast that we will not find any difference. So in the example you can see we have a program running Word, email, we are checking the email, at the same time we are using browser. All the three jobs are managed by the operating system and it interacts with the CPU for the execution of all of the tasks. So next comes, you can see one more example, we have multitasking. As we know that in a computer everything has to be executed, it has to be executed by the CPU, processor unit. So CPU is the operating system communicates with CPU for the execution of the programs. As you can see, browser. So through browser you are trying to access internet, at the same time you are using Excel to create a bill, and also at the same time you are trying to play a video or a audio. All these three jobs are queued and operating system communicates with the CPU for the execution. So multitasking means execution of more than one tasks at the same time. Next comes multi-user operating system. Multi-user means, multi means more than one, user means we. Like us, there can be many other users. So multi-user, what it will do? Multi-user allows lot of users for what? For sharing the data and resources at the same time. Resources can be files, memory, different input output devices like speaker, printer, etc. So this is called a network and this is controlled by a network operating system. As you can see, there are many 4 users. 4 users are connected to one particular system called server, and this multi-user, it is supported by network operating system. The multi-user operating system allows multiple users, multiple means more than one users, to use the same computer at the same time or different times. For example, Linux. So Linux is a multi-user operating system. Next comes multi-threaded operating system. Multi-threaded means, thread means a line of execution. So multi means more than one. There can be multiple threads. Thread is executions. There can be multiple threads of execution within a single process. We have seen multiple processes, and here one process can have multiple threads and they can be executed at the same time. Examples: MS-DOS, it's a single thread. Unix, it supports multiple processes, one thread. Java, it supports multi-threaded operating system. So you can see here in the example we have CPU. CPU is running one process called Outlook, and Outlook in turn it is divided into many other threads, that is composing, printing, calendar setting, new task. Here a single process is again divided into several processes called threads. So you can see in multi-threaded, CPU is executing a program called Outlook. Outlook is again divided into multiple processes or multiple threads, one for composing, one for printing, one for setting the calendar, and one for setting the new task. Next comes time sharing operating system. Time sharing or multitasking is the same, or it's a category of multi-programming. Here multiple jobs are executed, and as there are multiple programs running, the CPU time is shifted between the programs, and the CPU time is shared among different processes which are executed. So that is called time sharing. Time slice is defined by the operating system. Time slice means, so the CPU time has to be given to different processes. Example, Unix. Unix is an example for time sharing systems. Next comes the real time operating system. So what is real time operating system? A real time operating system delivers results immediately. A real time systems are generally used in real life activities, such as it can be used in a geyser or a refrigerator, or a common example for real time operating system are found in the aircraft. Sometimes there can be a critical moment. Whenever a pilot gives a command, the system shows the result immediately. So in such a systems, real time operating system is used. So next comes the network operating system. So network operating system includes special functions which can be used to connect computers and devices together, and network operating system helps the connectivity and the sharing of data among the multiple systems connected. There are many network operating systems available. Some of them are Unix, Mac OS, Novell NetWare, Windows NT, Windows Server 2000, Windows Server 2003. So you can see in the example there are so many computers connected. They are not only computers, they can be other devices also, like routers, printers, and they are connected through, they communicate through network operating system. Next we have distributed operating system. A distributed operating system is a collection of independent computers that appear to its users as a single coherent system. For example, you can see there are 3 sites, and 3 sites has n number of computers, and site 1 if they have to communicate through site 2, and site 2 if the computers want to communicate with site 3, they communicate through computer network. To manage this, to maintain this, we use distributed operating systems. Let us check Some of the details of the operating systems what we have studied. The first comes MS-DOS, which is a single user operating system which allows a single user to use the system at a time. MS-DOS stands for Microsoft Disk Operating System. It is a single user operating system and single tasking. So, MS-DOS does not support multitasking, it supports single tasking. That means it allows only one program to be executed at a time. And there are no graphics used. Graphics in the sense pictures, menus, dialog boxes, they are not used in MS-DOS. The communication, the interface is between the user and the computer is through characters or commands. Next comes the mobile operating systems. These days we are using n number of mobiles, n models are available, smartphones. These smartphones uses operating systems. Different smartphones uses different operating system. Most of them uses Android, Mac OS, iPhone, Palm and Symbian. Let us see some of the details as to which are the different mobile operating systems available. Mobile operating system is a software platform which application program runs on the mobile device. The different types of operating systems used, mobile operating systems used are Android OS, iPhone OS, Windows Mobile, Palm, Symbian OS. Windows Mobile. Windows Mobile is a mobile operating system, whereas Windows generally it is used for the computers. Palm, Symbian, these are some of the operating systems which are used in mobile phones. These operating system helps a user to use the mobile phone. In a mobile phone they help us to use the camera, internet, and the different settings can be changed with the help of this operating system. And also the mobile operating system helps us to load different apps and use it. So basically operating system, mobile operating system makes a mobile operable. Let us have a look and see which are the different phones which uses the different operating system. So most of the Nokia keypad phones, they use Symbian operating system. They work on Symbian operating system. As you must be very familiar with the next picture showed with the green dolls. This picture represents Android phone, Android operating system. As soon as you turn your mobile phone on, you can see powered by Android, powered by Windows, powered by Palm. That means that particular mobile device is loaded with a specific operating system. There are some mobiles, they are also loaded with the Linux operating system. So this is about the different operating systems, the different types of operating systems, the different examples of operating systems which we are using. We also had a discussion on the different mobile operating systems and which phone uses most of the phones. The keypad phones, they use Symbian operating system, and the smartphone uses Android or Windows mobile application. My dear students, hope you have understood this session and check your understanding by attending the 10-mark questionnaires or the test based on this chapter. Have a great day ahead. Thanks for patience listening. God bless you all. Thank you.